What's up, everybody? Can you hear me? It's Wero. Double checking everybody can hear me. I've had some audio and some internet issues here in the past few weeks, so make sure we're not lagging and all that stuff. Somebody let me know. What's up, guys? King Madness, Battleborn, Sunshine, Sloppy. What's up, guys? What's going on? So today we have 3 and 1, and we all know 3 and 1 a bit loud, huh? Let me see if I can crank that shit down real quick.
It's like fuzzy too.
It's fuzzy and loud?
It's like a little fuzzy. It's like fuzzy too.
Okay. Is that better? I just kicked it down a little bit. So, okay. Yeah. So we got 3 and 1 today. Again, it's a fighter that needs no introduction. We all know who she is. 3 and 1. You are live. What's cracking?
Not much. I just finished stream up a little bit ago, so I'm pretty lively with my friends. Sean, camera change. Do cool camera change. Sean on the bed, and then we got Jake on the cameras. Which will be the background. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you can't tell, 3 and 1 is no stranger to streaming.
Yeah.
And we for sure will get into that here very, very shortly.
Yeah.
So, first question. I normally don't start out with this question, but I've decided to recently. Also, that right there, the comment that's up there, that's my daughter. She's a huge fan of yours.
Of mine?
Yeah. Yeah, like if she doesn't bust in here and start screaming, "Hey, it's me!" and introducing herself, I'll be surprised.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I say hi.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, first of all, just so everybody knows, and I find this is a better question to start out with. How old are you right now?
Wait, say that again. Sorry.
How old are you right now?
How old am I right now? As I'm thinking of this stream, I'm 21. But in about
21.
A couple weeks, I will be 22.
Okay, perfect. So 21, about to be 22. And that just kind of gives everybody a frame of reference there. So let's jump into it. As you already know, this is a podcast to get to know people other than their fight careers. What we do know about them, you know. So where were you born?
I was born in Southern California. I was born in Mission Viejo, and I kind of just lived down here in SoCal my whole life. I had a little stint in Corona for a little bit in like 5th, 6th grade, but I've pretty much just been down where I've like grown up most of my life in the same area, and I didn't realize anything about like where I grew up being like an MMA hotbed. So that's like something really interesting that I figured out about growing up later now that I'm in MMA, but
Yeah.
that's where I grew up, just the SoCal area.
Okay. What were you like as a kid? Like what was your elementary and high school career like?
Loud, very loud, very energetic. I'd say most of the people who were rambunctious and outside of the box that everybody else was, I was kind of following them around because I thought they were cool. So for the most part, I was just kind of like an annoying little monkey child. That's kind of what my mom and most people would describe me when they met me. I was a lot more like running around barefoot, and like if rocks got stuck in between my toes, it was just like part of it, you know. That would be like most of my childhood.
Okay, in Southern California.
I mean, just running around on like
pavement. That's dope. So around. Oh, you know what? I was about to get into something. I was getting a little premature there. So, what was the family dynamic? Brothers, sisters, mom, dad?
I am a middle child, and it's funny seeing all the things online about middle children because I sadly fall. I like thinking that I'm not like a character that you
Like a
can
cliche?
but I'm like very generally like middle child. Just anything you can assume about it, I'm that. But I have two sisters, so growing up, it was a lot of like dress up, and it was a lot of like fashion shows and stuff like that, and a lot of creativity. So I'd
Yeah.
say the family dynamic would be like because my mom raised me and my two sisters on her own for the most part. So it was like creativity through his house. Like anytime that somebody was like, I want to do this creatively, my mom would be like, oh, here's 10 things that you can do with that creativity. And then she would show us every route that our brains could go or something. Like macaroni art, it would be like macaroni sculptures, macaroni frames. It would be like make a straw out of the noodles. There was just so many like dumb things we could come up with. My mom would be like, she was a stay-at-home mom for like the first decade of my life, so a lot of it was her sitting down and having the time to be like, oh, do you know that you could mix these colors together and they would make other colors? And I was like, you have no idea what you just done to me.
Yeah.
So like
Just elevated your game. Elevated
Yeah,
your game all the time.
like,
Yeah.
when
Okay.
you combine colors, it's a whole different spectrum, literally. So but yeah, most of my childhood was just like either being outside and like away from video games, or being away from video games inside and making art. That was pretty much how I grew up.
Daniel, what's up, buddy? I see you just popped in.
Oh, person.
Yeah, that's my producer.
Oh,
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes he pops in and produces if when he has time, helps me out. Which hopefully he's because so I have to put all the comments on screen and stuff like that, and sometimes it gets a little hard to do all of it at the same time. So he helps me out when he can. So I saw on your Instagram you have pictures of you as a child doing BJJ. When did your foray into mixed martial arts start?
I don't have any pictures of me as a child doing BJJ.
Okay, my bad.
Is it a picture of me in a gi though?
Yes, I think.
Okay, I had a shaved.
I thought it was you.
I had a shaved face during that tournament, so I think that's probably why you thought. Every time I'm clean shaven, I have a very youthful glow, so I think people think I'm like a 10-year-old most of the time.
Wait, shut the are you shitting me? That is like a current picture?
That's a current picture. That's a recent last January.
Fuck, my bad. I thought that was like a picture of you and you're like 10. Cuz it's like all the way at the bottom too. I didn't study it. I just looked at it real quick.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I thought it was you as like a kid.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh. No, I get told all the time. I have a very I think that because I'm very bubbly, so I think a lot of people like they correlate that with being childlike. So I think most people, because I have a young looking face, that they're like, oh, that's a kid over there, obviously. Yeah. But once they get talking to me, they usually start to question. Like a lot of adults will go, "You're very mature for your age," and then I'm like, "I'm 21, so you're weird." But but yeah.
So when did you start training? Yeah, when did you start training?
Sorry, that was the question. I really started. Most of my training came from wrestling in high school, so I didn't start any martial arts.
Oh, okay.
Until high school, but it was something that didn't give me like wrestling was like I fell for it. I can go on and on about it, but like I walked into a room. I was invited, and then because somebody was like, "You're small," like the wrestling coaches, by the way, have one of the best ways to get a kid to sign up for a sport, which is, "Do you feel defenseless?" And it's like,
Yeah.
damn, that works so much because if you're the smaller kid, you know, it always works. But all of my martial arts experience stemmed from freshman year high school wrestling onward. So that's
Okay,
like
so
the experience I have there.
you started freshman year, and you just sounds like you just walked onto the team.
Yeah, I got invited by the head coach at the time, and
Mm-hmm.
he was taller than me at the time. It was before my growth spurt. I was like literally walking around like 4 foot something. It felt like in freshman year. So when he approached me and said that there was a sport to make me feel bigger, I was like all for it.
Yeah,
And
that's funny.
he said that, hey, you know, we're doing open mat for summer right now, so you can come in and you know it's preseason, so it's whatever. Just come in. I'm not gonna hold you to it. And boy, was I was so cocky going into there. I was like, I didn't know what like MMA was. I didn't know, like, I knew what fighting was. I saw the movie Gladiator. I thought that was pretty much the extent. Like WWE, I knew that was fake.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is the real wrestling. So I'm gonna see some real people really do some damage to each other. So I walked in there and I think I saw somebody get double legged, and in the sound it made was like, it was like crisp. If you've ever heard somebody get slammed in a practice room and the person slamming them like just really wants to hurt them, but the other person also doesn't want to like get slammed, you know, like a real fight, real scuffle in a practice room, that sound is something that like is so particular to a wrestling room. And I just was like, oh, I love this feeling. And then I got beat up for the next 4 years, and I really didn't look back past that. I wasn't good though, I'll tell you that much.
But you learned. I mean, you obviously learned something because so you have one Street Beast fight with against Nogi, correct? Is that your only Street Beast fight? I believe it is.
Fights. I have a fight against Darkness, and that was Street Beef's 7. It might be Street Beef 7, and then I have the fight with Nogi. So I have 2 Street Beef
Got
fights,
you. Okay.
but they are very polar opposite in my demeanor, both before and after, and in my experience, obviously, because Darkness, my first fight with Darkness was almost 2 years ago. So I had a whole lot to learn, and that was the first fight I'd been in physically. Like I had never fought a person in my life. Like I'd never punched another person in the face, even out of malice.
Yeah.
Like, I was
So,
you first.
how did you hear about Street Beefs? Like, how did that come about?
I don't remember how, but I think I followed the Instagram for the Street Beef's OG yard, and then I think it was the beginning. It was towards the very beginning of when West Coast started. So Tank and like Tiny Tank and I think it's Bushido Zed. They were tagged a lot. So I think I ended up following them because I was like, oh, that would be so sick if I ever had the whereabouts and the smarts to fight, you know, and I ever wanted to try fighting out, I should hit these guys up, you know. Following them would probably be a good thing. And
Yeah.
I just like one thing led to another, and I think it was like January of I think it was 2021, January 2021. I called myself out on Facebook because Tiny Tank was like, because they said like how to sign up. I went to Facebook, signed up for the group or whatever. So I followed for like a month, and I called it myself out, and I was like, "Yo, I don't see any 125 people. Like no 130, nothing below that. I'm seeing like 3 fights, like Baby Hulk versus Beach. You had like, shoot, I don't even know. Like there was very little light people, going at it in Street Beefs that I was seeing, especially West Coast. There was like really just big heavy hitters. So I'm like, okay, that'll get a lot of attention, but if I call out a bunch of lightweight people and maybe they'll like agree with me and want to come too, then we can have like a like a lightweight, like a little guy tournament or something. I was like making jokes about that in the comments.
Yeah.
And then it got a bunch of momentum, and then I was like, oh shoot, I have to like actually...
Fuck, now I gotta fight.
yeah. I was like, oh no, there's a lot of people liking my post and my comments on these posts. I gotta figure out some fighting. So I posted a training video, and within a week they were like, I think I was like the first pick out of all of them or something, and I was like, no, like I can't, I shouldn't be here. But I had like 20 days to train. I went out there. Darkness did his thing. I tried handling as many punches as I could, and eventually the ref stepped in third round, and he helped me out. He gave me a good out.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that there's some people who they'll tell me, who I've shown that video, and they're like, oh, you know, you probably could have done something right there. I couldn't. And I think for a fact that to this day, for the rest of my life, that moment right before was the best moment. Maybe like a second before would have been a little better. Maybe take my face a little more damage, but I think if anything, perfect stoppage. So for anybody who wants to give Alfredo, Coach Alfredo, any shit, he did his job. I thought it was a perfect stoppage.
Man, I don't remember this at all.
You don't? Hey,
No,
I can walk you through everything.
Like I don't. I'm about to look that up right now.
It's not 3-1. They typed it in as 301, like 301.
Oh, okay. I do. Yeah, I remember that now.
I think you might have been there. I saw you with the sunglasses, and I think I asked a few people about you. They were like, "Yeah, that guy's cool. He's on a podcast."
Well, they lied. He's not that cool. Coyote would like to ask, where did you attend high school? Mission Viejo? I don't know how to say it. Capistrano? Trabuco Hills?
No, I went to El Toro High School. Shout out to
El
their
Toro.
girls wrestling team. They're taking a girl to state right now. I do help out coaching there, but I don't want to speak on my behalf. I want to speak on the coaching staff and the kids there, because dang, they're doing an incredible job. But I did go to El Toro High School. That's where I went.
Yeah, okay. And I just looked up your fight with Darkness. I remember that now. Yeah.
Okay.
I was there for that.
That's where Savage Island was like, so he like kept punching me in the ribs, and he like did a punch, and then Savage Island was like, McRib season, and that was like the biggest thing in the comments. Everybody loved that.
Yeah. So I miss Savage Island, man. That dude's cool.
Dude, I was in the fight getting punched in the ribs, and I heard him say, it's McRib season, and I laughed. And I was like, this is why I love fighting. I knew it was for me, because I was like aware of what people were saying outside of the ring, too. I thought it was a really cool experience.
Yeah, it's a very, very, like, for your first experience, come into a street beef first experience is super cool. I think I'm fading in and out again here. Yeah, sorry guys. I have been on the phone for like a week with Cox trying to get my internet fixed, and they're just not having it. So, Shinigami would like to know, how do you come up with your name, your fight name?
So if anybody watched the Heart in the Fight live stream, I was caught off guard right after my fight with Nogi, and they asked me the same question. But, I was walking around my house because, again, because I signed up for the fight, I was panicking. I didn't have a fight name yet. Even when I signed up for the post, they didn't have me as like having a fight name really. I was signing up for the post, and I was like, guys, I have to sign up for this post. I feel like they're like they're all talking about people fighting at this weight, and I was like the one who started it. I need a fight name quick. So I was going through objects in my house because I heard that was like a fun thing that I think I heard it somewhere that was like, if you need a funny nickname, just go through objects in your house. So I just went through like different parts of my house, like the kitchen. I was like, silverware? No. Fork? Spork? Nah. I was like, refrigerator? Nah. And I like walked to the bathroom, and then I was like, soap. Fuck no. I wanted let that sink in. Legitimately, let that sink in was almost my nickname. because I looked at the sync
Let that sink in. That's funny.
and it was like no one's gonna get the nickname until they let that
No.
sink in. So
Yeah.
um,
It's
I was like,
clever.
that was
It's
a good
clever.
one. And then I ended up going to my my shower, and there it was, 3-in-1 body wash, shampoo, and conditioner, right, sitting right there. So
Mm-hmm.
I go and I go, I go and I go, I go to my sisters and I ask them if this was a funny nickname, and they said that it was really funny, and they couldn't stop laughing. So I called like Jake, and I don't know if I called you too, Sean, but I called at least Jake, and I was like, "Is this funny?" And I had at least one confirmation saying that that was a worthy enough nickname for my first fight, and then they got it wrong. And they got 301.
Yeah, I do remember that. I remember seeing that come up and seeing the 301 now. Like, I just took a look at it. And yeah, you definitely, like you said, it's a polar opposite fight. It's completely different from that fight that you had. Like, what did you do in between those fights? Like, that's got me curious because you came back an entirely different fighter.
That's a good question because the way it occurred. So I joined a group that you're probably aware of, 50/50 MMA within Street Beefs. Um,
Okay, yep, that's with
so
Duva.
Duva, like
Yep.
there's a bunch of different guys. I think there's
Yeah.
some new guys who I haven't even met yet, but I started training under them because Darkness, I hit him up. I think like a day or two after, and I was
Mhm.
like, dude, I love you, and I want to. Obviously, I thought about it because obviously, like Gladiator's the only experience I have for fighting, and I love thinking like I want to learn from my enemy. So I texted him thinking like, oh, he's probably gonna just like never respond to me and be like, oh, screw you, I'm not gonna give you technique. He
Yeah.
responds, and not only responds, gives me a date of when and where him and a bunch of people from 50/50 were gonna go. But like, not only that, but like, I think Shinigami was there. I think there were a bunch of other people who are like now and have been within Street Beefs for a while, and it was
Hmm.
like such a great meeting because I was the opponent of this guy, and here he is inviting me to this event, and we went to the beach. We sparred on the sand. I got a face full of sand, just like at Street Beefs, and yeah, I grappled Shinigami there. Yeah, met a lot of really cool people, and then after that, just for the next almost year, it seemed, just worked on sparring as much as I could, throwing up a lot, showing up hung over when I shouldn't have, uh, going going too hard, maybe against somebody who was probably 100 pounds heavier than me at the time, but not caring afterwards because that group of people really showed me like really good looks, and I think that on top of joining jujitsu saved me because if it weren't for putting it into a system with jujitsu, that the sparring wouldn't have helped. Excuse me. Ugh, drinking this beer is making me burpy.
Yeah.
But like jujitsu allowed me to put like striking and MMA stuff like in my brain at least. Like grappling
Hmm.
makes sense to me, and punching does not. So if I can punch you while I'm grappling, that's what makes the most sense to me. So really, to adapt what I did in the darkness fight and be like, okay, in the grappling exchanges, I seem to be pretty good, but every time he punched me in the face, I had no idea what to do. I need to work on the getting punched in the face part. So my defense, I think, went up. My striking on the feet still, I think, is like, I don't know if it went down or up. I think we're just like still plateaued. I'm not comfortable on the feet yet, but I just like learned how to strike within transitions. I think that's the best way to describe
That's a
what
very
I've
good
done.
description. Yeah. Yeah, you absolutely came out a whole new fighter And like to the point to where we didn't even realize we had seen you before. Yeah,
I love that.
legit.
Hey, I love it. That's what you want. Is you want
Yeah,
to have
absolutely.
good performance like that.
Yeah, and there's a few people that do that. Like Street Beefs, I've noticed definitely has those people that come out their first time, they have no idea what they're doing, and then they come back again a few months or a year later, and they know what they're doing, and it's just night and day. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I can second that by saying I've seen a lot of like the only word I can describe is like beautiful advancement of technique through individuals, because like certain people you'll see and they'll get hit in the face like 20 times in a fight and they'll not answer back. It's not crazy punches, but it's like a Street Beefs fight, and then their next fight they're the ones giving the 20 punch combinations. You know, they're the ones who are showing the better striking or better technique on whatever grounds it is. And I think that Street Beefs has a really good platform to allow fighters at a very low and not to knock any fighters. I want to say on a lower experience level for people for someone like me who I didn't punch another human being in the face, at least not on purpose, until I punched darkness, you know? And for me to come out and have an experience like winning afterwards during my second fight is something that I've seen time and time again with other athletes within Street Beefs. And I think that Street Beefs being a lower level amateur like ranking, you know, like it allows people who don't even realize they're talented yet, don't even know that they have a good punch. They just want to like beat a dude up. They just want to like make someone bleed or something.
Yeah.
Like Street Beefs is fun for all of that, but then you get these guys who pop out of the woodworks and have like true talent. And not only that, but show improvement through each fight. And that's your walk lobsters and your no loves and, you know, your duvas and stuff like that. It's really great. It's really great to see.
Yeah, it is. It is. I feel like Street Beefs is a great entry and exit level organization. You know,
100%.
like guys like me who are over the fucking hill and just want to get a couple fights in before they are forced to retire physically. And then, you know, guys like you who want to get a couple fights in, just starting, don't know anything, hop in there and see what happens. You know, I think it's very, very good for that.
Totally agree.
Yeah, you are coming to the March event. So you're going to be here at the March event.
Yes, I'm going to do my damnedest to get there.
Yeah. You're in Southern California, right?
Yes.
Yeah, make a post in the group. I know there's quite a few people coming from that direction. DTP... Actually, he won't be there. Now that I think about it, he's got another thing. But 619, Walk Lobsters, quite a few people come from Southern California. So you definitely might be able to carpool. I know there's a LA group that's coming down that's probably going to be carpooling.
Heck
so,
yeah.
Yeah, I'd make a post. You could probably find a ride pretty easy. But you're matched with, was it Tripwire right now, I believe.
Yeah, I think you sent me that video. I saw, hey, really great transition to go with gloves on, I want to say, to slip your hand under to get a choke like that, a rear naked with gloves on, is not easy to slip in. And for him to do that through a transition was really nice to watch. So thank you for sending me that video, by the way.
Absolutely. Now you know what to look out for. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, shoot, a submission? Submission on submission? I don't know. I can't. I'm like, guys, give me more strikers. I'm kidding. That's not good. I'll get knocked out if I keep asking for people who strike.
Yeah, I mean, eventually. I mean, I think if we
at
all
some point I'm
keep
gonna
asking for strikers, we're all gonna get tuned up a little bit. Yeah.
Eventually, everyone will be better, and that's what I'll start worrying about. Is every aspect of it. Right now, I'm happy enough to be like, I'm a grappler. Where's my strikers at? Let's have a good match. But I would actually prefer a grappling match, because then it would give me a better understanding of where I'm at within mixed martial arts in my grappling. Because if you sit with somebody who's a striker, like I've sat with people in practice during like just having fun on an open mat, and it feels like I'm flailing them around. And it's like I'm not a good grappler, but if you have an understanding of basics and you know how like to gauge someone's strength when you're on the feet or on the ground, it's something different when you like grab somebody who has no idea what they're doing versus somebody who has like a basic understanding. So I've personally, when I saw that choke, I was like, yo, this will be good, because I think he was falling off when he secured that. I don't remember.
I think
exactly.
so too. Yeah, I think he was too.
He was like falling off the side, and he slipped his arm in, and then he pulled it over, and I was like, you got to watch out for that stuff, you know.
Yeah, he's pretty slick. I think you guys will have definitely have a solid fight. It'll be fun. Like the whole event is gonna be. It's definitely gonna be one not to miss. Like I've got. I'll be posting them again soon, but there's like 25 matchups already. And
you said Nogi's coming. Is Nogi coming?
Yeah, Nogi will be there. He's fighting Sensation. Mm-hmm.
Shout out Nogi. Wait, he's fighting Sensation?
Sensation. Yep.
Okay, because I know there's Asian Sensation and Sensation. That always confuses me. Okay.
He's fighting regular Sensation.
Regular Sensation.
Yeah, regular Sensation.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, shout out Nogi. Dude sent me to the Shadow Realm in our fight. Honestly, that like
he's strong though, isn't he?
Yeah.
How like the way you feel? That shit. He was. I mean, we're gonna keep it real. He was absolutely manhandling you, but your transitions were so smooth that it's almost like he didn't see it coming. Like I know for sure he didn't see it coming.
I only ever, I think a few times. I think now that takedown, I've been training more just because it's interesting how I landed it, because I hooked with my feet and then I ended with a double leg takedown, and that was something that I've never done before. So I've definitely tried to use that more often. But a lot of what happened, I think, transitionally was just more me relying on the knowledge that I had built up over the past however long I was training since the last fight, which was, last fight I was on top and I didn't punch that much. I punched like 1 or 2 times when I was on top of Darkness, and then maybe a couple more times after that did I actually hit him. So I was like, I have to hit, and if I don't,
you gotta throw strikes.
Yeah, I gotta throw ground strikes, because if I'm not, then like I'm just holding on, and holding on is not going to do me well for fans or for a fight in general where I have to like control. So I was like, if I punch him in the face, or if you get punched in the face and you're trying to leave the situation and you continue to get punched in the face while trying to leave, it's going to be very hard to leave. And that's something I figured out in sparring, and I think that's what really helped me out in the fight, which was like, I have to just keep punching him, and that's the best thing for me right now. That's all I have to do.
Yeah, look at that. Heart in the Fight says 3-1's transitions were impressive. Our entire Heart in the Fight organization thinks so. Yeah, they were. They were very, very smooth. Are you still? Yeah, I mean, honestly, the entire sport is just repetition. Most sports are, but I think especially martial arts, for sure.
Yeah, especially in jiu-jitsu, where it's, I was telling someone, like, the other day, it's a very, like, jiu-jitsu's being, like, especially now, and when it was first being introduced, was like, it's a David and Goliath sport. You're David, everybody else is Goliath, so you have to do what you can to beat these giants. And they throw everything at you, and the best thing to stop the giants is literally sitting there and waiting and having better technique. And yeah, it's just
that was the hardest thing for me to learn. Like I just started jiu-jitsu like a month ago, and I'm terrible at it. But the first thing I had to learn was to be calm. You know, I remember going and rolling with a couple of guys in Scrapyard. And I was rolling with Fire Chicken, and he was just like, bro, relax. Like, you're so tense. But I'm like, I don't know when I'm in trouble. So when you don't know when you're in trouble, you always got to assume you're in trouble, and it just makes you tense. It does.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's funny you say that. I was talking to my sister, who, my older sister, don't wanna call her out or anything, but she's one of those people who you look at her and you're like, oh, she is super athletic. She probably works out all the time. Not the case. Not the case at all. I'm like the only one in my family who works out, and it sucks because they get all the benefits and I'm the one who has to try. Um, but I was talking to her and she was saying that I was like, you should do jujitsu at some point because she has a frame similar to mine. We're lanky, kind of tall, so we're pretty. Wind is our enemy. So human beings being mean to us would be very bad. So I was like, hey, one day, you're gonna be in a David Goliath situation. We're gonna have to like figure this out. And one day I'll get her to be convinced with it, but like, I don't know. I'll see what I can do. I've tried with my girlfriend as well. Okay. So here's the thing: some people are comfortable being attacked, and some people aren't. And I think I'm one of those people who's like, I'm not uncomfortable, and I don't tense up when I get attacked. But like my sister, she'll probably be like, oh, I can't do this. Jake, my girlfriend. I'm worried about her. Like if I went against her and I was in a life or death situation, I'd be scared. If she started jujitsu, I'd be worried about all the competitors against her. There's some people who are just built for being like that calm and being able to deal with being calm and at the same time being like wiry and crazy and shit. You have to find a good balance, but like I totally understand you. In my first month of jujitsu, I was a wrestler. I was like neck stiff, everything built. I have to stay on my feet. I want to take you down. I didn't even do takedowns in high school, and I walked into a jujitsu room, and I was like, I'm gonna take everybody down. And then you get thrown on your back, and then somebody sits their butt on your face, and you suffocate. And then you learn that you have to actually transition through stuff. You have to calm down, and that's really the only testament I can give to like being able to breathe and like having my breath in between rounds during my fight with Nogi was like, oh, I'm freaking out right now. And if I didn't have that jujitsu training where like I'll have to do multiple rounds every day and train and repetition, like I would have just sat there and probably would have given up between rounds because I'll be honest, in between rounds, like first and second round, when I got off of him, I was like, I have to do this. I have to do this again. And then they sprayed water. They sprayed water in the cage.
In the sand.
And I was like, I think an angel was sent from above to do that. I think somebody was on my side. The Lord had me in their wishes.
Yeah.
So I was able to cool down a little more.
Probably a big, brown, scary angel named Savage Island, I'm assuming.
Yeah. I think it was actually Tiny Tank who was spraying it.
No, maybe. So a small, rotund brown angel. Gotcha.
He's been working out, bro. Have you been seeing his workout videos?
Hell yeah.
Dude, he's like launching like 250 or something in squats. I haven't been on Facebook too much, but
he's strong. He's legitimately strong. Like I was at his house and he throws like 170-pound sandbag around him. It is. It's a sandbag too, so the weight is not static. It's fluid. It's all over the place. It's tough.
Yeah, no,
it's very fucking tough.
I remember watching his fight and being like, "Whoa, I'm glad I follow this guy and he's not my weight class." Like there's some people you're like, I don't need them punching me.
Yeah, and there are some people I think about that and they're actually in my weight class. I'm like, fuck, I gotta see them one day.
One day.
Yeah, Island Strong. Island Strong says, what made you sign up for Street Beast? Now, we already touched on that, so we're going to cliff note it real quick. 3-1 called herself out accidentally and then realized she had to take a fight.
Pretty much. Yeah. But really, I joined it, like specifically, I wanted to follow Street Beefs and join it to maybe have a fight because there was that part of me that I think a lot of people they feel like they can beat someone's ass, you know? They feel like they would in a life or death situation, I'd win. You know, somebody's a striker, I'm a grappler, you know, someone's this, someone's that. If this happened, I'll do that. You don't know until you're there. And I really told myself through the pandemic, thankfully it told me like, hey, you need to be doing this. I didn't have a plan. I wasn't one of those people who had a plan for anything. I like legitimately signed up for it because I was scared. And it was the scariest thing that I think I could do because I was in control and no one else knew I was signing up for it until I had a fight. Well, my girlfriend knew. She'll tell everybody that she knew.
So did you tell people after the fact and show them the video, or did you? Yeah, okay.
A lot of people didn't know that I fought until I posted about it and was like, "Hey, I fought," and they were like, "Huh?" Even now, as a fighter, the no-gi fight, I posted about it, and people were like, "Why didn't you tell me?" And I'll be like, "I've been posting about it all the time that I was going."
Yeah.
So I don't know about you, but luckily it was a win. So then more people were like, "Yeah."
Yeah, it's always it definitely feels better to win. You get a little more accolades too. Yeah, for sure.
I think personally, I've learned equally just as much from both. But if it weren't for losing, I don't think I would have the drive to win. I don't think I would have won if it weren't for losing to Darkness. I think I would have been cockier going into my fight with Nogi, and I think that would have hurt me. So I think that because of Darkness, I won, you know?
Yeah, I absolutely can probably agree with that. I mean, I know Nogi told me straight up that he is focusing on his ground game now. You know, he's been up here at the Hot Box a couple times training.
What's funny is on YouTube, he changed his name to Yeski, and I think that's the best thing. I love puns. I love puns more than anybody.
I didn't know that. That's fucking funny.
And he changed his name to Yeski, and I
did he
thought
really?
That's fucking.
Shit. That is hilarious. Yes.
If he's in this chat, he needs to comment right now.
Yeah.
Like
I don't think he is.
So funny.
Yeah. He really doesn't. Nogi doesn't have a lot of social media. I don't think he has a YouTube. I know he doesn't have a Facebook. He has Messenger. That's it. He doesn't have a lot of social media. So.
I think I follow him on Instagram. I could
second. Yeah, he does. Yeah. I think he might have IG. But yeah. So what is next? Where are you headed right now as far as your martial arts career goes? And also, Samke's got a good question. This might even tie into it. Who in your weight class would you want to fight now? Who do you want now? I don't
really... Okay, so I'm one of those people who's weird. So I have had an advantage in life, especially within wrestling, the weight class sport, of like not having to cut really. If anything, I've bumped up to go certain weight classes.
Yeah.
And I've felt like weight classes are kind of lame. So honestly, I'll fight anybody who I think is like reasonable, you know? Like if I feel like I have a chance, like I'll go for it. But within my weight class of like, I'd say like these 125 to 135 people within Street Fights, you know, I appreciate everybody from the OG yard who's put in work. So anybody from the OG yard who's really like done anything in that weight class, I'm like, I wouldn't say it's a call out. I'd say it's an appreciation post, and I want to say I would love to fight you. Put a rainbow over it. I would love to fight you, and then their name, whoever it is. But if you're in the 125 to 140 range from the OG yard, I would love to maybe get a scrap with you guys before. At some point, maybe in the future. Maybe we're both pro. Yeah. What?
Your next opponent is from the OG yard. Tripwire.
Well, I know that. Yeah. I know that. But okay. I'm saying aside from Tripwire, you know, Tripwire, I would like to fight you too, Tripwire. Yeah. I would like to run that back. But if there's anybody afterwards, you know, I would love to. I want to try to work up to like fight Baby Hulk one day. You know, I think that would be fun.
Yeah, you'd have to go pro to do that. He does not fight. Yeah, he does not fight street beefs anymore. He's big money making now. He he doesn't
if you're getting
mess with
paid
us
for
anymore.
this, don't come back. Don't
Exactly.
keep it. The money.
DTP said boxing match with Wama. That's 135.
I think I've seen Wama's matches before.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot. But I can't say I remember exactly what happened
Yeah.
or who exactly it is because I'm bad with names.
Wama's tough. I can't remember who. Somebody correct me. Who? Pink Panther, I think. Did he fight? I can't remember. But it was in Ojai, California when we went up there.
Okay. I'll have to.
Yeah, so it's in the actual ring. I want to say it was Pink Panther.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was. I mean, Wama put on a clinic. Like he started getting, like every now and then he'd get tuned up a little bit. He just dug deep and came back and just powered through and just put on a solid little like boxing and heart clinic. Like it was very
If you guys
impressive.
want to see a boxing match against me versus anybody, you know the answer. I'll be face down. I'm telling you that much. Boxing match, striking only. Kickboxing, okay, maybe I'll do some spinning stuff in a kickboxing Muay Thai match. But if we're not MMA, if we're not going to the ground, it's a tough day for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I got to be honest with myself. I'm not the striker that I want to believe I am. You know, I want to be within the places of reality. And then if I knock a person out, if I ever knock a person out or down, I want to say this, in sparring, I mean, I don't punch hard, but like even then, you know, you get knocked down in sparring. I've been knocked down in sparring. I've never knocked someone down in sparring at all, you know? So it's like, for that to happen within a match, I got some time for some striking to get built up for that. Once that happens, I'll get cocky. I'll start calling out some more people.
Get in there and just do it. Start with one strike and just do it for 3 or 4 rounds, and then move to another strike. Like I'll just get on the bag and do jabs over and over and over and over again, and then switch to the 2 over and over and over and over again. Yeah. Darkness says, "Hey 3-1, what's up, buddy?" And is that Darkness in a goddamn cowboy hat?
I think so. I dig it. I'm into the cowboy hat.
I like it. I'll fuck with it. Yeah.
Darkness, you're the whole reason I'm here.
Samke, who are you talking about? Who looks like brothers? Who look related? Y'all look related. I wonder if you're saying Wama and DTP. I can't think of anybody else. So, yeah. Now let's talk about the streaming. You have your own streaming. Where do you stream at, and what do you stream?
So streams, Slompy streams, SLOMPY, Slompy. We'll probably type it in a minute, but we're on Twitch. My girlfriend's gonna type in the link, so we'll be able to send you guys the Twitch link, the YouTube link. We also have Instagram, Facebook, all those sorts of things. But we stream twice a week on Mondays and Thursdays, around noonish, depending on where you are. I say noon-ish. Big emphasis on the ish. Big-ish on the, like, probably closer to 2 to 3 PST. But we stream just about everything. Gaming, we make music. I was saying earlier to you, on Thursdays this year for 2023, we've been doing music streams. So we've just been making songs or like reacting to music and stuff like that. Yeah, we have a oh yeah, improv. How could I forget that? We do probably improv more than anything else, and we just sit in front of a camera and we just do stupid bits and we pretend like we're funny, and then people tell us we're funny, and then that gratifies our feelings, and then we continue to do it each week.
Yeah.
So that's
if you feel funny, then you're funny.
Yeah, I'm the funniest in the room when I enter.
If you're having fun, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
What is slumpy? What does that even mean?
Okay, so this is a really funny story too. So just like 3-1, we're kind of just we're just sitting around doing nothing, shooting the shit, and so okay, so we were first FaceTiming, and Jake and I were talking about names, and well, yeah, we were talking sim language, but we ended the call and we started typing to each other in sim language. So sim language, for anybody who doesn't know, just like gibberish, like blah 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 blah, splabaloo, skeeble the gobble, boobity beep, bop bop. You know,
What
it's
is
like the game.
Sim?
If you've ever played Sims, the game.
Oh, Sims the game. Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
Sims the game.
I've heard of it. I've never played it.
Yeah, but we were talking like that, and then we ended the call, but we continued to text each other in random gibberish, and one of the words that Jake had sent was slompy, and I okay, I guess so. I guess.
And then you texted me Slompy.
Okay, I guess there's.
I don't fucking know where the name
I
came from.
I guess I am unaware of where the name came from. I guess I hung up after Jake said Slompy, and then I typed back Slompy, but I remember texting back specifically saying Slompy sounds so cool. And like Slompy sounds like a real thing. Like what is it? And then we looked it up, and then we were like, that should be the name of our YouTube channel. It means lethargic, apparently.
Slompy's a real word?
I guess it on Urban Dictionary. On Urban
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Dictionary. So it's not
That makes more sense.
not a real word,
Yeah.
but
Give it 10 years. Might be a real word. Yeah.
okay. So yeah, we kind of do just about everything, and then we came up with the name to kind of justify. It kind of fits, I think, Slompy, because it's weird.
This name for like a show that basically has no point.
We have no point to our show, and we have no point to the name of the show, so it fits, you know?
That makes sense. Yeah.
Kinda, yeah. The best of my ability to explain it to the. Am I allowed to ask any questions as well to the audience or
Yeah.
to you?
Yeah, absolutely. We're actually about to ask the audience if they have any final questions, and yeah, you can ask whatever you want.
I was gonna say, while we wait for more questions to roll in or something, how long have you been fighting for? That's actually something that I don't know personally. And when did you start that journey yourself?
I first stepped in a gym in end of 2011, and then I fought. So it was like around December 2011, and then I fought mid 2012, and I had 8 fights that year, and then I quit fighting until Street Beefs November 2019, and then I took a fight there. I was just planning on taking a couple fights before I retire, and then I fell in love with the community, and then, like, one fight led to another, led to another, led to another. It didn't lead to any training though. It just led to me just hopping in there and throwing hands for half a round and then being done. So, but I'm probably gonna make a comeback here soon with some cardio and some training and everything now that I got the gym up. So,
Love that. Is there any time in the future where you see yourself falling back into the fighting game? Like anytime in any event? Or
I'll fight in September for sure. So the Hot Box is going to have a boxing mixer in September. I'll definitely fight at that. But I'll probably take at least one before September. So, yeah, I'll be back. Darkness wants to know, who do you have your eyes on for the next opponent? So her next opponent is Tripwire at the March event. So after that, though, whoever shows up under 145.
Conor McGregor for the
Yes.
Conor McGregor's next. If not, honestly, I'm gonna be real. Darkness, since you're here, I do want to say this. If Is this the one?
This is my daughter. Yeah, this is my daughter. She got her fight name is Kit. Kit. She got a little. She got some hands. She is a striker, and she's a fan.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Kit. I'm Tristan.
Nice to meet you.
Not just 3-in-1.
Yeah. She said, "I'm Tristan." I got headphones in. She can't hear you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's why she's just waving and smiling.
I'm like, am I speaking English? I swear.
You are. Yeah. Yeah. Does anybody else have any questions? Before we wrap up, 3-in-1, you want to shout out the socials and everything? I'll solo you real quick.
Okay.
Go for it.
Slompy, SLOMPY. We stream twice a week on Mondays and Thursdays. We have multiple cameras. This is Sean. Sean's on the bed. This is me. This is another camera of me. And this is another camera of Jake. But that's pretty much what I do aside from fighting. Aside from that, check out El Toro Wrestling. They're doing really good right now. They're sending a girl to state. And they had a great season. So if you guys know of anybody who can, who knows them, let them know they're doing great. If not, have a great one. I've had a great time. If you guys have any more questions to me, I have now an unprivated Instagram. So request a DM. Hit me up. Ask me some more questions you didn't ask today or that I didn't answer. Come to one of our streams on Mondays and Thursdays in the afternoon. And we'll answer literally everything because we have no interaction. We will have 100% interaction. I'm saying no interaction because we barely get any people, but by that we'll be able to give you more attention.
Question right here.
Is anyone interested in a boxing match in the scrapyard? I would love to do a boxing match. I think I deserve to at least have one. I just need to get my striking up. I just don't know if I'm confident yet. I think that boxing is a dangerous sport, and it's one of those things that you have to fully. I've taken knees to the head in grappling. I've taken knees to the head in grappling, and I've been fine.
Because I feel like MMA is a dangerous sport. I'm like, MMA is dangerous. Boxing to me is not that dangerous.
How many deaths a year in MMA versus boxing?
Touche, but still. Yeah. I get it.
I think if anything, I'm one of those people who if I get hit in the head enough, my hands don't come back up. You know what I mean? So I need to get in the mindset of when my head gets hit enough, my hands come up.
Yeah,
I think exactly. I get too used to dropping. And I think if I'm in a boxing match where it's only getting punched in the body or head, I need to be a little bit more on my
you do not want those hands down.
Yeah, don't let those hands down. In a match, that's one thing. But in sparring, I'll take every one of you fuckers up. Every single person in this chat room, I'll fight you for sparring. Because at least we're not hurting each other too bad. We're just having fun.
Yeah, and you're going to get your chance if you get down in March, because a lot of people are going to want to spar. And like I said, I got a whole gym here everybody can spar and hang out in. So,
I would love to.
Yep. It's got mats too. It's got jiu-jitsu mats. So,
ooh, y'all are getting thrown. Win or lose, I'm throwing one of you.
Let's do it. All right, 3-in-1. I appreciate you being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been super fun.
Yeah, absolutely, and hopefully you get a couple more followers there for your YouTube. That'd be dope.
I hope so.
Yeah. All right. Again, thank you, and you have a great night.
You as well. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody.
All right.
Bye, Bob.
All right, guys. Appreciate everybody tuning in, man. We got we're gonna keep it rolling. I got Ryan Phillips. He was just on MMA Hour, I believe. He's one of the Power Slap guys. He's gonna be on next week, and then I believe after that, Jimmy Fit is gonna be on after that. So you guys stay tuned, man. You guys have a good night. Appreciate you